Good morning. Thank you for joining me. I'm Roshan Gidwani, Phillip Capital's media host and presenter. Welcome to the Daily Morning Note. Asian stocks look set for a mixed start Friday as Chinese technology shares struggle, contrasting with a rally in their U.S. counterparts that propelled Wall Street equities to a record high. Australian shares and futures for Japan were steady, while Hong Kong contracts slid. A tumble in the likes of e-commerce firm Alibaba Group Holding Ltd and video streaming platform operator Bilibili Inc hurt an index of US-listed Chinese stocks. Alibaba slashed its outlook for fiscal 2022 revenue amid intensifying competition, dwindling consumer spending, and regulatory curbs. In the US, a clutch of megacap tech companies rose, helping to take the Nasdaq 100 and S&P 500 to new peaks in a choppy session ahead of Friday's options expiration. U.S. futures climbed in early Asian trading. In Singapore, Myanmar's Yoma Siloam Hospital Punlang PHH has become the first private hospital group to procure Sinopharm's COVID-19 vaccine. OUE Lipo Healthcare, OUE-LH, said in an exchange filing on Thursday, November 18th. The hospital group, a joint venture between OUE-LH and First Myanmar Investment, received its first shipment of the vaccine that day, said the Catalyst-listed company. This comes after PHH received approval from Myanmar's Ministry of Health and the Food and Drug Administration to import up to 400,000 doses of the Sinopharm vaccine, which is on the World Health Organization's emergency use listing. Next up, transport operator ComfortDelGro Corporation, through its wholly owned private bus company, ComfortDelGro Bus, is set to operate Singapore's largest electrified private bus fleet after winning a Singapore dollars 30 million contract to operate the shuttle bus service at the National University of Singapore NUS campus. In a press statement on Thursday, November 18th, the transport operator said the multi-year contract is for the electrification of the university's entire fleet of shuttle service buses. The NUS electric buses, which will begin operations from third quarter of 2022, will continue to serve the 8 existing shuttle bus routes within the campus covering NUS Kent Ridge campus, University Town, as well as NUS Bukit Timah campus daily from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m., including public holidays. Moving on. Tourism attractions operator Straco Corporation posted a net profit of Singapore dollars 4.36 million in the third quarter ended September 30th. The main board-listed company said in a business update on Thursday. This represents a 32.4% decline from the same period a year ago, when the group reported a net profit of Singapore dollars 6.45 million. The group attributed quarter three's net profit to foreign exchange gain, with the renminbi strengthening against the Singapore dollar, as well as receipts from the Singapore government's job support scheme and land rental waiver for the quarter. Next up. Engineering solutions firm Ellipses on Thursday, November 18th, announced it is planning a foray into the agri-food industry. In a bourse filing, Ellipses said it has entered into a conditional sale and purchase agreement to buy a 20% stake in ISE Capital Management, ICM, for Singapore dollars 2 million. ICM owns a 70% interest in ISE Foods Holdings, IFH, which had signed a memorandum of understanding with the Singapore Food Agency in September for IFH to develop and operate the 4th egg farm in Singapore. Next up. In the US, Alibaba on Thursday missed revenue and earnings expectations for the September quarter, as slowing economic growth in China weighed on results, adding to regulatory headwinds. The company also slashed its revenue guidance for its current fiscal year. It previously expected to bring in 930 billion yuan, which would have been about 29.5% year-on-year growth. But it now expects growth to be between 20% and 23% year-on-year. Next up, AstraZeneca's antibody treatment has been shown to be highly effective at preventing COVID-19 in people who may not respond well to vaccines, according to new clinical trial results. The data showed that patients given a single injection of the antibody treatment, known as AZD7442, were 83% less likely to develop symptomatic cases of the coronavirus than participants who were given a placebo. An earlier analysis of the trial, conducted 3 months after the treatment was administered, had shown that the risk of developing severe disease was reduced by 77%. Next up, Starbucks is opening a pickup cafe in Midtown Manhattan with Amazon that uses the retail giant's cashierless technology to attract busy consumers who want to buy coffee or snack quickly. The partnership with Amazon is the latest step in Starbucks' plan to adapt its locations to consumers' new habits. Nearly a year and a half ago, Starbucks announced it was accelerating plans to revamp its US footprint, inspired by the pandemic's abrupt shifts to how consumers wanted to buy and drink their coffee. In addition to shuttering as many as 400 stores in 18 months, the strategy included opening more pickup locations in dense urban markets and installing walk-up windows and double drive-through lanes in suburban areas. Next up, Ford Motor plans to increase its production capacity of electric vehicles to 600,000 units globally by 2023, which CEO Jim Farley expects would make the company the second largest US-based producer of EVs, behind Tesla. Farley said the increase would double the number of EVs the company had initially expected to produce over the next 24 months, according to a report on Thursday from Automotive News. That production is expected to be spread across Ford's first 3 new EVs, the Mustang Mach-E, F-150 Lightning, and E-Transit. It would come before production is expected to begin at a newly announced EV assembly plant in Tennessee, according to the Detroit-based publication. Next up, Baidu plans to launch its driverless taxi service in 100 cities by 2030, as the Chinese search giant looks to diversify its business beyond advertising. Currently, Baidu operates its Apollo Go robo-taxi service in 5 Chinese cities. Users can hail an autonomous car via an app. The company wants to expand Apollo Go to 65 cities by 2025 and then 100 cities by 2030. Baidu CEO Robin Li said in an internal letter that was made public. That's about it from me. I'm Roshan Gidwani. Thank you.